Hello everyone and welcome to Nieblue's PC build. That is right, this is the long awaited PC build I have been waiting on for quite some time. I'm really excited about it. My computer that I currently use is a little outdated, I guess you could say. So it can't play a whole bunch of games on it. It plays what I need it to play, but there's some games that I've tried to play in the past that I just couldn't even touch. So I'm really excited about this. I really am. I've got all the parts. We'll be going over that here in just a moment. But first, I want to show you what I'm running on my current PC. Hang on a second. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at my device specifications. As you can see, I'm running an Intel Core i3 4160 CPU. It's at 3.6 gigahertz. This computer originally came installed with 4 gigabytes of RAM. I have maxed it out at 16 gigabytes. That's as much as it can handle. And if I can remember right, the most I could upgrade my CPU was to an i5. I didn't see any point in doing that because that would just be a waste when I can go a little bit higher than an i5. So running 64-bit operating system and Windows 10 Home. So going back into here, you'll see that I've got 2 cores on a 3.6 gigahertz CPU. You see what my specs currently are. They're pretty trashy, honestly. Right now, when I play a game, I tend to throttle my CPU all the time. It used to be my memory, but since I upgraded to 16 gig, I haven't had any issues with that. But now I'm throttling my CPU. And so it's definitely time for an upgrade, that's for sure. What do we have in store for us today? Let me grab a few of our parts. We have the Core i7 9700K going into our brand new computer, LGA 1151 socket. So it's it's an overclockable CPU, which is nice. I don't know if I'll ever use that, but it's available if it's there. Okay. Now, with every CPU, you need a motherboard. So what we've got is the MSI Meg Z390 Ace. Now, I understand there's a lot more better things out there. As a matter of fact, with the CPU, I wanted to get the i9 at $100 more. I just didn't see the necessity of it. I mean, I'm going to be able to get just as much out of this what I need it for as I would the i9. And the good part is this motherboard right here. This motherboard right here can handle the i9, so I'm not too concerned about it. Later on, when the price drops for the i9 and I decide to upgrade it to the i9, I'll be able to do so. So the cool part about this Meg Z390 Ace, not Acer. Acer's a brand. Is it does have a little bit of RGB. It's got the Mystic lighting set up. It's got several different things on here. It's got an M.2 turbo setup. It's got the core boost, the DDR4 boost. It's overall a really good motherboard to have. As a matter of fact, this motherboard is good enough for me to keep for a while because it is upgradable by quite a bit. So I can actually do upgrades to it without a problem. So with a motherboard, put that right there. So let me do this. With a motherboard, you've got to have RAM, and what we have here is the Corsair Vengeance 2 sticks of 16 gigabytes. See, is it 16? Yeah, 16 gigabytes for a total of 32 gigabytes of RAM. So that is correct. You're seeing it right here. Not only am I going from an i3 to an i7, but I'm also going from 16 gigabytes of RAM to 32 gigabytes of RAM. Wow. I didn't see any reason to go any higher than 32 gigabytes. If I wanted to, I absolutely could. If you look up the specs, you'll see this motherboard can handle up to 128 gigabytes. So it can handle quite a bit. But I think this is going to do us good for everything we need. So that's that right there. We've got one 500 gigabyte M.2 Western Digital drive. Honestly, I would prefer the Samsung drive. I've used Western Digitals before, not the M.2s, but the regular 3.5 hard drives back in the day, and I've never had any issues with them. Really, honestly, it came to pricing in this situation. The reason why I did that is because I do videos. I wanted a second drive to be able to save all my videos to, so I didn't bog down. Let me turn that around. So I didn't bog down the operating system drive. So that's what that's for. This is the Samsung 860 QVO solid state drive. By the way, they're both solid state drives. QVO. It's kind of a downgrade from the EVO, but I read the specs on it, and there's a lot of good reviews that it can handle data just as good as the EVOs, and that's basically what it's going to be used for is data storage. So that's plus. So not only are we getting a 500 gigabyte drive to store our operating system on, to boot off of, all that good stuff, but we're also going to have a second drive to store our stuff on, and this is a 1 terabyte, so plenty of space. Right now I currently have a 500 gigabyte solid state drive in my current computer, which I fill up very quickly when I do my videos. So to power all this nonsense, we've got the 850 G2 Supernova, I think it's the 80 plus gold power supply. So we got plenty. I think when I pieced this together, it was like 444 something watts total before we run anything. So we got plenty of. I think that's, if I'm sounding correctly, hopefully I am. This would be a definite good enough power supply for what we're doing. So let's just set that right there. Yeah, I'm dropping everything here. To cool the CPU, we have Noctua's ChromaMax in black. ChromaMax black. This is an award-winning. Well, the original's award-winning. I don't know about this one, but overall, when I did when I looked through so many different CPU coolers, I didn't want to do water cooling because this is honestly one of my. This is probably the most expensive build I've ever done before when it comes for me. So I found out that this was the best CPU cooler you could purchase from my understanding as far as air cooling was concerned. It's got tons of awards. The fans on it are extremely quiet, so it definitely does a great job. It's got I think it was six tubes going to the plate. So definitely I'm excited about this. This thing is massive. If you can't tell, look how large this box is. That's not just a bunch of packaging in there. That is the actual unit. That's how big this thing can be. So we'll be unboxing that here eventually. Put that down. Nobody wants to see that. Everybody wants to see that. Check that bad boy out. Originally you got this in the Desert Storm fans. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but Noctua is starting to make some changes to their fans, or they have been making changes to their fans. A lot of the people putting their fans into their computers have been asking for different colors, things like that. So they've got a few options, not colors of fans, but some customization that you can do with this stuff. So to go with all this, I'm saving the best for last, I guess. The best thing that I've got is the Fractal Meshify case. And it's definitely got quite a few options. I love the way this looks. We currently have only 2 case fans to go in this, but that's fine. We can always upgrade it later. I didn't even think about fan space and stuff like that, but I honestly think this is going to do just fine the way it is. So last but not least, with every gaming computer you have to have some kind of graphics card. Now, I got this on a really good deal. Me and Diggler found this graphics card at a really cheap price. It is a 1070 Ti. I don't remember where I found it, but we got it for a really good deal, and I'm super excited about that. He helped me get it, and because I didn't want to lose it. It's not top of the line, top shelf graphics, but I can promise you this: it will do everything I need it to do. That is for sure. I'm really excited about this. The current graphics card I have in my computer is well, it's horrible. I mean, it'll handle some of the stuff that I needed to handle, but like if I turn on shaders on Minecraft, it's bad. I mean, I'll lag out. I go like crazy. Some of the graphics aren't that great. So, but anyways, this is our graphics card. So we need to get started. And the first thing we need to start with is our motherboard. We're going to get it prepped. We're going to get it pulled out. But before we do that, we need some tools. So let me get some tools real quick. Alright. We got some tools. So a couple things. A magnet tray. Great for holding screws, things like that, so you don't lose it. I got this one really cheap at Walmart. I don't remember how much it was. But it'll be great for building, and it kind of sticks to the table I have. There's metal rims right there, so it kind of sticks to the tables I have. I don't know if you necessarily need this, but I thought it would be nice to have. It's a magnetizer, demagnetizer for a screwdriver, in case your screwdriver's not magnetized, I guess. Zip ties for cable management. Now understand, if you noticed, I did not get any. I did not show y'all anything for cable modding. The power supply itself, this particular one, has EVGA already has most of their cabling bundled pretty well. Let's see if I can find them real quick. Yeah, here they are. So it comes with the sleeves already wrapped around them, the braiding sleeves. I don't know what you'd call those. So already wrapped around them, so they're actually pretty nice looking already. There was really no need for me to do anything necessary with cable modding. Now eventually I would like to go to cable modding and get some blue cables to go with my build. I want my build to be a white and blue case is basically what I want. It's not going to quite be there, but the main thing right now is the fact that my CPU just spiked to 75%. Apparently it couldn't handle me tossing the power supply over there. It didn't like that. So eventually we'll go with the blue and white case. This right here is actually Arctic Silver 5. Now, back in the day when I used to build computers, and I say back in the day, this was the best stuff you could get. And for those that know when this was the best stuff, yeah, I mean, that's how old I am. Anyways, I haven't been that long, but this used to be the best stuff you can get. This is Arctic Silver 5. I got it because I know I needed thermal compound for my CPU. I did not look to find out that the Noctua comes with its own thermal compound, which I've been told and I've read that this compound is better than this compound. As a matter of fact, I've been told that there's a lot more better thermal compounds out there now than Arctic Silver 5, and it's still just as expensive as it's always been. So we're going to be using the thermal compound that comes with this, and we're going to keep this just in case. You never know when you're going to need it. We're going to keep it for something later on. So, alright, so first thing we need to do, tool-wise, we got some clippers for cable management. We got some screwdrivers for screwing things in. We've got some of this. We got tweezers. You know, I don't know what we need tweezers for, but just in case. And then we actually have a full-on, if it don't fall out here, I don't want things to break. A full-on kit. Screwdriver, precision screwdriver kit. So we're just going to set this stuff off to the side, and we got one of these things. We are getting the motherboard out. It comes with all kinds of stuff. This does support SLI, so it's got its own little SLI bridge in there. It's got tons of cables. I mean, tons of cables. Look at all these cables. That's not crazy. We're gonna come back to that. Whew, it's making me nervous already. So I guess the first thing we need to do is going to be the CPU, the i7 9700K CPU here. We're going to start off by pushing this pin down. I don't know if y'all can see this. Like so. Oh my gosh, that makes me nervous. I'm going to close that back down. That makes me nervous. I don't know if y'all can see this. It makes me nervous though. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. If I can get the camera a little bit closer. Maybe that's a little better. Yeah, a little better. It allows you to see a little bit better, I guess. Okay. All right. So there's the motherboard. Let's get the packaging out here. Open up the CPU here. Whew. Oh, there's one right there. Alright, this thing's actually really heavy. I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy. Alright, so when you're putting in your CPU, or when you're getting your CPU out, I should say, put this over here. Definitely don't want to open it up above the motherboard. As a matter of fact, you don't want to do anything above the motherboard. But you want to lay it down flat somewhere. That way it doesn't pop out. So what you're looking for is the triangle on the CPU. We're going to lift this up, lift the case back up, and we're looking for the corresponding section where the CPU would sit. So ours is going to be right here, just like that, and it does have little notches, so you kind of can't mess it up. Yeah, as you can see right there, see the little notches right up here and right here, and then of course the triangle is going to match up with the dot on the motherboard. So pretty simple. What you're going to do is you're going to close this down just like so, and then we're going to give this a little, I should probably be doing this with two hands. Let me put this down. Okay, so I need to be doing this with two hands. That's why I kind of had to put that down. But there we go. This piece came off. CPU is in place at this point in time. We want to make sure that we save this in case we have to RMA the motherboard, because this has to go back with the motherboard. Okay. Alright, so that part's done. CPU is in. Really excited about this. Still getting me nervous. The second thing we're going to go ahead and put in is going to be our RAM. Now the reason we're going to go ahead and do the RAM is because the CPU cooler that we have is extremely large. Chances are I'm not going to have access to that closest RAM slot that I'm going to be using once I get that CPU cooler in. So we're going to go ahead and put our RAM. Once again, Corsair Vengeance 16 gigabyte RAM sticks. Because we're only going with 2 sticks, we're going to separate, going from the furthest slot, skip one, go to the third one, and that's where it's going to be, making sure that our RAM lines up like it's supposed to. Oh, they do. Okay, perfect. Press down, should hear click noise. We do. That's to know that we got it completely seated the way it's supposed to be seated. those are in place. Wonderful. I don't even remember how this goes. How's this go? There we go. Just like so. Alright, so now that we have our memory in, our CPU in, I think the second thing we're going to go with is putting our M.2 in, because we can go ahead and put that in place and get it covered up. So right here is our M.2 shield for the hard drive. Now this motherboard comes with 3 different slots for M.2. Just so y'all know, there's one here, there's one here, and then there's one here. So definitely upgradable for sure. Let's go ahead and what's next? I think it's going to be time to possibly put the motherboard in. That's what I'm thinking. Is this the... I just realized this must have a built-in shield. It does. Okay, so let me get the case out. Okay, I love this case. This case has plenty of expansion. As you can see, it's got the tempered glass right here. It is a true tempered glass. On top, it's got your magnetic filter that just snaps on there. This is completely bare. You can fit a ton of fans on here. You can fit, I think, 2 up here, 3 up front, 1 in the bottom if you remove the additional hard drive tray. You can see it's got 1 fan in the back, and it already has 1 fan in the front. So what we're going to go ahead and do so we can make us get this stuff going is we're going to go ahead and remove the tempered glass from the side here. Okay. We'll put those right there. And we're going to go ahead and put this back in the box on the styrofoam so it doesn't break. I mean, I know it's tempered glass and all, but... And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the other side panel, which is just metal. We're going to remove it and get it out of the way too, because we're going to need access to both sides when we're working on our stuff here. Alright, so we're going to be placing this sideways. I wish I could show this to y'all. I really can't. We're just going to have to hope it looks alright. Alright, so I've got to get some stuff because we need to put some standoffs in here. We do all kinds of things. The case comes with an accessory kit. Comes with some zip ties. Comes with screws for the motherboard. Different types of screws. Several different types of screws. It comes with a cloth to clean the glass, I'm guessing. Zip ties, more screws, and your standoffs right here. It's an interesting little bit there. It looks like it's about it. Let's see right there. That's for the motherboard. Okay. All right. So first thing is, and always remember, make sure you put your standoffs in. You definitely don't want to put the motherboard in without having standoffs on there. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick. I believe there's make sure I'm getting all of them right. There's one right here. Alrighty, we're coming right along. I'm pretty sure we are. Alright, time to put the motherboard in. I'm nervous. Pick it up a certain way. Do this a certain way, do that a certain way. Okay, I have to move this fan cable out of the way. Alright, so one thing you want to make sure that you do when you're putting your motherboard in, obviously, like I mentioned, is the standoffs. But then you want to go around, make sure that your screws are visible. Right there in the center one, it actually had a standoff point. It's not an actual screw point, but it's just to hold the board in place. But making sure your screws all lined up, that you didn't put any extras in that shouldn't have been put in. A good rule of thumb from what I did was I went through and measured, because my case does have some extra holes depending on the size motherboard you have. So making sure that I put them in the right holes, that was the big thing. So you're going to see differences. By the way, I'm recording on my phone right now. That's how I'm getting this footage right here. But I wanted you to see everything. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to screw down the motherboard at this point in time. So let me get that done. Alright, with the motherboard in place, we can lift this up and I can show it to you. So there it is in all its beauty. It's in there. Now what we're going to be doing is I'm going to take this back plate off. This back plate is, I'm sure it just pops off. I'm hoping it just pops off. This back plate is to hold my 2.5 hard drives, but we're not going to need that right this second. We're going to that's what our 2.5 hard drive is going to go to, our QVO, Samsung QVO. But right now, what I need to do is I need to get prepared to put the power supply in. We've got a bunch of cables back here that I guess we need to start plugging in. But we got to get the power supply in too. One thing I do want to do, because if you look here in the back, there's some extra hard drive bays. I don't need those there. So what I'm probably going to do is remove those. Alright. Don't need that. That's the extra drive bays that were underneath where the power supply is going to be. We don't need that. Alright, so now, as you can see, I've got a ton more room down here at the bottom where the power supply is going to go. So that is actually going to be our next step, is to get the power supply in. We're going to go from there. Alright, so here's our power supply, fully modular, so that way you don't have to put all the cables in. You only put in what you need. So what we're going to need is, I'll come back to it. Alright, so on the back here, I've got 2 thumb screws, which actually makes this really easy to unplug, or to install. So you just basically do that, install your plate on the back here. Wrong way. You install it the right way. Alright. Now that the plate's on, we just slide that bad boy right in there. Maybe. There you go. Just like so. And then it just gets screwed in. Maybe. There we go. Alright, power supply in. What we're going to do is, yeah. I'm glad I moved that drive bay. I wouldn't have been able to do this if I didn't do that. It still had some space in between. Like literally, like there was plenty of room to do cabling if you wanted to leave that drive bay in there. However, you would have had to put the cables on first. There's no way you would have been able to get these in here afterwards. I mean, I got big hands, so I'm probably gonna have to take this back out and do it like that. All right, let's see here. I'm just getting all these cables pulled through there. I don't think I need anything else. The CPU 1 and 2 fans are right up there. I'll do this real quick. Oops. I need to turn this the right way. The wrong way. says it's upside down this way though. But I do not want that fan blowing. Well, I guess it's got. Leave this facing up. This is the exhaust. It's going to be pulling in air here. I want this underneath. No. I want it the other way. I do want it the other way. Move this way. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking that. Let's see if I can put my hand in there. Get these moved up. Gosh, dog it. I just can't get my hands in there. I just can't do it. Oh man, let me catch something. Okay. I'm gonna have to pull this back out again because I can't get my hands in there. So I guess the next thing is gonna be right up here. Right up here is our CPU fans. See, it says CPU fan 1 and pump fan 1. We can actually connect both of our fans for our CPU cooler up to that because this thing comes with 2 coolers. So let's get that prepared, and we will start getting that sucker in here. We're probably going to want to plug in one first, but let's get our parts out. There's so many parts everywhere. There's so many cables. So many cables, baggies. There's stuff everywhere. I don't even know what those go to. Let's see here. This is for cable management. I mean, there's so much stuff everywhere. It's not even funny how much stuff there is everywhere. Okay. Alright, so we gotta take this bad boy out. And like I mentioned, when you see this, you're gonna be like, dang, it's all parts. So in here it comes with the accessories kit. Basically what you got is your NTH1 thermal compound, a noise adapter, a low noise adapter that you can connect for the fan. It does have the Y adapter, so I could just use that one. I think I may do that instead. It's got the it's got the dual CPU fan adapter, so it allows you to hook up 2 fans up to one connection. I may do that. The tool to tighten it down, and then the brackets. So it actually comes with the 2 different types of brackets. Set this aside. The one we're particularly going to be interested in is going to be the Intel brackets, which is going to be. All right, so it comes with one fan already installed, and then the other fan is not installed. So we got the second fan right here, and then this big old beast. Yep, that's it. I mean, there was a lot of packaging in there, but when you see how big this thing is, it's kind of crazy, honestly. But it works good. That's what I've been told. So check this sucker out. Look at how big this is. Get that plate cover back on there. So we're gonna put this down here, out of the way. Yeah, I mean, that thing's huge. Let's see, is there, I mean, there's something in comparison I guess I could have put it up to the, I mean, oh, okay, here we go. Look, 32 ounce coffee cup. Look how tall that thing is. Look how, I don't know if you can really see that. Look how much wider it is. I mean, it's big. It's big. That's for sure. I think that's a 32 ounce. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get all these parts out here. And we're going to go ahead and take off, if I can do it without breaking it. I'm going to take this fan off. Oh, I hope I didn't just break that. Please tell me I didn't break that. No, I didn't. Okay. Apparently you got to pull and then let loose. Okay. So we're going to pull that out. I'm going to set that aside. Alright, so first things first, we gotta mount the bracket on the back here. And we're basically just gonna go just like so. I don't know if you can see that pop in there. See right in there, in there, in there. Comes with a whole bunch of hardware, which is not the hardware I need. Here's the hardware I need. Yeah. Okay, here's the hardware I need. Alright, so these things right here, we're going to put the spacers on there. There's 4 spacers. I'm trying to do this blindly here. 4 spacers. Yeah, I'm doing that. Okay. And then we want fans to sit on this, so the brackets never go pop and pop. This is really hard to do, by the way. Go, and then we're going to fasten them down with these nut screw thingies right here. You just hand tighten them. I mean, they don't need to be super tight, I don't think. You don't want to damage your back plate, for sure. Just hand tighten them down. Oh, we need the other plate. There we go. Right there. All right, we're gonna get a closer look at this. I think I've done a couple of these videos now that I didn't have the light on. So as you can see, I've got the brackets in for the CPU cooler. It definitely is a easy task to put this in. I want to tighten that down just a little bit on each corner, not much, just enough to make sure it's snug. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. You don't want to tighten them down too much because you don't want to cause stress on the motherboard. And there we go. Those are snug down. Okay. And next we're going to do the thermal paste. We're going to put the thermal paste on the actual CPU. I'm trying to keep the light off of it. It's not working. Let's see if I can do it that way. There it is, the Intel Core i7 9700K. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna get the thermal paste on here. Where is that? Just like before, this is the NTH1 thermal compound. Like I mentioned before, this was I was told that this was better Then the Arctic Silver 5, and I didn't even know it came with it. So if you happen to get the Noctua set up, make sure you check, because chances are it comes with the thermal compound. And there's plenty in here. I mean, there's a ton in here, so this is gonna last for a while, actually. Cool thing, they give me a little badge thing. I think that's pretty cool to put on the computer. So that may be something we're decorating the computer with. That'd be pretty neat. Got the clips for the second fan. I think I did both of those, actually. Yeah, I do. And then I've got the connection for the CPU fans themselves. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to film this part, but we're actually going to take a little bit, about a rice-sized spot right in the middle of this thermal compound. Hopefully I didn't do too much. I'm hoping I didn't. It kind of worries me now. And then we're going to put this and close this back up, because we don't need it. Alright. So as you can see there, we have the rice size spot of thermal paste. It kind of looks weird though. Anyways, what I'm going to do is, when I place it down, we need to go down evenly. Kind of looks like it's over to the left a little bit. So. Ooh. Oh, I hope that didn't break anything. I hope like hell that didn't break any circuits. I can't believe I did that. That's what happens when I'm sitting trying to hold the phone and do that at the same time. Alright, that's in there pretty tight. I mean, there's no wiggle room or nothing on it, so that thing is massive. Look how big this thing is. Is that not huge? Alright, yeah, so that thing's in there pretty tight. We're just gonna go with that. Hopefully it's not too tight. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. Now it's time to put the fans back on. The second fan here sits quite a ways off. And the main reason is because of the memory in there. Alright, so we've done quite a bit so far. Got the CPU in, got the CPU cooler on. Got a bunch of stuff done, actually. Pull this tab. Okay, the only thing we've got now is some cable managing and the graphics card. I mean, really, that's what it seems like, don't it? I've got to get the SATA drive in there. But other than that, I mean, like this plate, we can put this plate back on. Actually, we can't put this plate back on because this is going to hold our hard drive. Which is, where is our hard drive? Let's see if I can find it. There it is. 2.5. 1 terabyte hard drive. Where's that package? There we go. Cool. Alright, so if this goes like this, this needs to go like this. And the screws will go back. And yeah. Okay. Now I need the small, tiny screws. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough, man. Alright. That's the power. Now I need the data transfer, which is going to be in here somewhere. thing kind of. Trying to see if there's one that's not. Alright, so I can essentially go into one here. Be in one. It is wonderful. And I'm gonna go here and look at our orientations. This there. Right, now we can put the plate back on. Let me things a little bit easier now. It's a mess back here. It is a mess, I'll tell you that. So, as you can see here, I've got the secondary hard drive, the one I'm going to be using for storage, mounted on this back plate. You can actually fit 3 different SSDs on here, 2.5 hard drives right here. That was the whole reason I ended up taking out the extra drive case. The only cool part about that is, I mean, the trays, they slide in and out. They literally slide in and out. So that is pretty cool, but I think I'll be fine without it because, I mean, nowadays you don't even need that. I can actually put an extra fan down here now if I wanted to create some more cooling. But I'll have plenty of space. I mean, if I want to expand this even more. So it's all connected at this point in time. Once again, it's a big jumbled mess back here right now. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to start focusing on connecting the rest of these smaller cables to the motherboard, like my power switch, the H drive, we've got another CPU fan here. I think there's one right here. A connection for one right here. Nope, it's up one, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's up one. It's all the way at the top, actually. Way up there. It's up one. Here's one right down here, though. System fan 2. Probably plug in right there. No, I can't. Alright, that's in system fan 2 right there. So front's on 2, rear's on 1, and I have several other spots. I mean, there's system fan 4, there's system fan 3's up here, there's the pump fan AIO, which actually can be used for power. Yeah, so both the fans are hooked up now. Now this part, I'm gonna have to, I'm blind as a bat, so getting this part right is gonna be fun. This is gonna be all of our little power switches and stuff like that. That stuff is up top here. Oh, I'm trying to break things. Look at that, see, it doesn't look like it's on there very strong. Alright, so we're gonna do that. And all of our other stuff is going to be right here. I thought it was right here. Is it not? I swear. Oh, all the way down here at the bottom. Go figure. I thought it was at the top. What else do we got? see it, but it's right coming through right here. I'm gonna plug this bad boy in right here. I can get it in there. Go. Didn't hear an actual click. There it goes. I heard it that time. Alright, so that's plugged in. Alright. See the side drive plugged in. These need to go into the these are going to be GPU right here. We're going to put these up through the top so they can pull up on the card. So pull them down. Okay, we're close. We are close. I need to get need to get let's plug in. Sure. Oh, this the HD audio. I need to figure out where that plugs in. Oh, didn't see it on there. And then, yeah, I pretty much followed the instructions for the most part. Not too shabby. Been a while since I've done this, so watched a few videos, but by the way, if you ever want to build your own computer, check out Linus Tech Tips. He does not sponsor me, but I'm throwing him a shout out. It's been a while since I've done this, so I kind of took his tips. I hope I did okay. We'll find out here eventually. I just need to find out where the HD audio plugs in. That seems to be the issue at this point in time. Oh, front audio connector. Here we are. Where's it at? It's way the heck down there. Are you serious? That thing is way down there. Holy cow. Why would you even do that? Alright, so this is going to come... hopefully this will fit through there. Oh, it does. Good. Good. Like, the front panel audio is way down here in the bottom. Way down over here. I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's way down over there. But that's where it's at. So, make sure that I get this plugged in correctly. Should be only one way, because if I don't do it the right way, I'll end up breaking a pin. So, should be here goes that. Yeah. There we go. This is the bad part about. No, I should have. Too bad you can't hook all this stuff up from the beginning. Okay, make sure I'm on there. Looks like I am. Nope, I'm not on there. Okay, now I'm on there. Okay, good deal. Let me pull this back through here. Okay, well that's that. Alright, so we've got a mess back here. A true mess back here. We're pretty clean up here. Trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing. I've got the SATA drive plugged in. Why does this feel weird? Oh, it's the magnets. Okay, that's kind of a crappy deal in this case. The magnets are coming off. I have to fix that. Anyways, gonna have to fix that. That's horrible. Anyways, pretty sure I got everything connected. Let's see, that goes there. SATA's hooked up. 3.0 connectors hooked up. All my power switches are hooked up. My audio's hooked up. I've got my fans hooked up. System fan. What is that? That one's 2. And I think I have. Where did I hook the other one up? One at the top here. No, it was under here. It was 1. 1 and 2. System fan 1 and system fan 2 are the 2 spots that I hooked up to inside. I'm nervous. I'm literally nervous at this point in time. So what we're after now is the GPU. So we're going to go ahead and remove. It's GPU time. It's definitely GPU time. So we're going to go ahead and remove the 2 below the Express PCI spot. Remove the 2 below. And hopefully I don't break anything like that. Ooh. I've been dropping stuff left and right here. Okay, it's gonna be the same way, I'm sure. Can't do this sideways. I'm trying to do this sideways so y'all can see it. I'm gonna end up freaking messing up my computer is what's gonna end up happening. Okay. Alright, so those 2 are removed. Make sure you hang on to these. You may need these for later on. We're gonna need these to fasten down the card for sure. Alright. I'm nervous. Okay. The card. I'm actually really excited about this because I've never had a video card that's as powerful as this before. I've been doing gaming quite some time, and I've never actually built a true gaming rig for myself, like I mentioned. And it's been so long since I've done this. I mean, it's all pretty much still the same. There's some new stuff, but it's been a while, so I've got to re-educate myself on stuff. You know what I mean? It's definitely interesting. Why is this not opening? Golly, I'm trying to be careful with it. Do not return to the store. I guess if it don't work. Yeah, I guess. Really? It doesn't want to come out. Let me open up the other side. Maybe I can slide it out that way. Make sure both sides are open and just push it out. Maybe. Okay, there we go. It is what it is. Oh. Stressful. Alright. Okay, let's get a little organized again here. We got stuff everywhere. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna put that right there. Oh, it's on the floor now. Put this down here. We're gonna set these aside because these are gonna be for the graphics card. Don't need my keys. Power supply. Well, we gotta wait on it anyway. So this is gonna go back in here. And why did I? Oh, I was gonna use this, but I ended up not using it. It's literally how it goes. Ooh, so you get all this good stuff falling out of the. Ooh, we got stickers. Look at this. Look at this. Check that out. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. The white would actually look really good on the case. So we got another little badge thing to stick on the computer. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna stick these back in this little folder. It tells you everything about your nice new video card. I'm gonna stick it back in there for now because we are doing the installation for the video card right now. I don't know what those are, but we're gonna set that aside. By the way, this thing is massive. Look at this. I mean, it is a massive graphics card. what were these things? What are these? 8-pin power. Wow. We already have 8-pin power right here. 678, 678. Yeah, we've already got that. I guess this is if your power supply didn't have 8-pin power for it. They give you extensions so you can convert it to 8-pin power. I guess. That's pretty cool. Alright, so here we go. We're pulling the card out. Oh my gosh, this thing's huge. This thing is massive. I mean, it's a massive card. Y'all just, I mean, if you've built a computer before, you know how big this thing is. Look, I mean, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than my CPU cooler. That's how massive this thing is. Wow. It's going to be drawing a lot of power, too. So, alright, so first things first, because I ain't going to be able to get to it until after we, I won't be able to get to it till once I put this in, it won't be accessible anymore. I'm going to peel this pill on the back, the protective piecing. Bam, there's one. There's actually two on here. There's two there. Okay, and then on the front there's one. Oh man, that was horrible. Oh, there's a pull tab right here. Oh, I was hoping to get around that screw, but it didn't. This is bad. There's so many curves to this thing. The pill doesn't want to come off very easily. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Put that right there. There we go. Alright, we're going to take the protective sleeve off the set there. I've already moved the clip. I'm going to lift these bad boys up. And we are just going to set that right there. Oh. There we go. And bam. It's in. That's how easy it was. Okay, so let's go ahead and fasten this down real quick. That literally went right there. Alright. Let me see if I can do this again. There we go. Okay, lift up on it a little bit. There we go. And where'd that one go? There it is. There's a cap on this. I didn't take. It's a VGA cap. I don't think I need to take it off. I'll just go leave it on there. Unless I have to take it off. I don't think I'll have to, but why not? Just for protection purposes. Alright, now that we've got that on there, we can plug up the power supply to the board here. So we're gonna go one right here. Do that in the right spot. here. And this is going to go, be sure this goes like this right next to it. Maybe. Come on. It's not wanting to go in. There we go. Whew. Made me nervous. I'm going to put this one in first this time. That one didn't go easily. It's kind of crazy how well that went. Okay, there we go. Do this right here. So we still have plenty of room in here to make some adjustments. As you can see, I could actually take this shroud back off again, and we could put an additional fan right here on the front. We could also put an additional fan here at the top. We're probably going to end up doing that eventually. Right now, there's been enough money spent on this computer right now. We can also put fans up here at the top, which would be nice, just for cooling purposes. Is it going to be effective with me not putting more fans in it right now? Absolutely not. I mean, this thing has bukus of fans. It's got the intake here in the front, the exhaust here in the back. It's got 2 fans on the CPU cooler. The power supply down here at the bottom has its own fan. The graphics card here has its own fans. Is there a plastic thing on that too? Looks like there is. I can't tell. So there's plenty of fans in this thing at this point in time. So, but we are fully put together at this point in time. I'm gonna do some cable management, and I have to pull this off. I have pulled this one off already. Apparently not. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to do some cable management here in the back, kind of clean it up, make it look special, make it look pretty. Here in the front, as you can see, I mean, I managed to keep most of the cables pretty much in a decent spot. We'll clean this back up here a little bit better. I'm going to pull these down a little bit more so they're a little more managed, but you can see it's pretty clean here in the inside. I don't think we have too much to worry about in that case. So I'm pretty excited. So while I'm doing some cable management back here in the back, let's talk about this for a minute. So I've been wanting a gaming computer for a while, and when I first got asked to join Diggler's place on Minecraft, I got really enthused about building my own computer, and that's mainly because, you know, Ark and Diggler themselves have their own built computers. So I was really excited about building my own computer. So I started buying parts. I bought the case fan, the motherboard, the power supply, the graphics card. I was buying pieces little bit here and there. And I bought the 4 pieces, and unfortunately we ran into some hard times. So Diggler actually offered to help me out, and he basically took my current computer parts that I had purchased and held on to them for me. In the process that, you know, I'd eventually get them back. Well, my wife decided that for our 5th year anniversary, which is coming up here pretty soon in October, she decided to conspire with Diggler's place with Diggler, and go ahead and get the rest of my parts, and including get these parts back for me that Diggler was hanging on to. So I'm super excited about this. This has been one of my biggest things that I've been wanting to do for so long, and I'm so happy that I get to do it at this point in time. I was concerned that I was going to, lose my parts, but, us being in the rough time we were in, it was kind of a necessity. What mattered most was that my family was taken care of, and that, oops, I did this wrong. But what mattered the most was that my family was taken care of, and how in the world does this thing go on here? Why would you want to do it that way? Oh, okay, I see. I was like, something's not right here. That my kids were taken care of. I would do anything for my kids. So I was really excited and shocked when my wife told me that for our anniversary that she was that she had gotten all my stuff back for me. So I was really, really excited about that. Love her to death. I'm so happy I got my stuff back, and here we are. I mean, I'm getting ready to build this up. Here, let me do this. Let me go around. I'm having issues here, if you can't tell. Okay, so let me do this first. Let me go through here, right, okay, so that'll work for that, and then we're just gonna go I got some cable ties somewhere around here. Let's get this stuff out of the way. I know I bought some. What I did with them, I have no clue. Alright, so first things first, we've got lights on. That's a plus, right? That is a plus, right? We've got lights on. The moment of the truth, though, is are we going to post? And let me move this out of the way. Are we gonna post? Yeah, you see it. My mumbo jumbo thing up there. That's what got me started on Minecraft. So that's why I've got that. And it's signed. It's signed by him. So that's a plus. All right. Let's cross our fingers and let's hope this works. Got power. Video card started up. Am I gonna get anything out of the video? All fans have started up. I'm waiting for. Is it happening? My screen just came on. CPU or memory changed. Please enter setup to configure your system. Press F1 to run setup. Press F1 to run setup. And I've got the screen. Oh. We're gonna have to restart. I didn't go into setup. So we're gonna have to restart. So here we go with the restart, and I believe it's either F11. I believe it's F11. It may be delete. Can't remember what setup is. Enter setup. There we go. Hot diggity dog. We have a new computer. Now, let's check some things. It's kind of hard to see from there. Let's see if I can turn it a little bit. We are definitely running at 3.6 gigahertz. DDR speed is 2133. XMP. CPU base clock. Let's see. I'm just looking around. I mean, I'm new to this stuff, so I'm just looking around. XZ390 Ace. Definitely sees the CPU. Intel Core i7 9700 CPU. Memory size, got all the memory there. Double check that. Unknown. Okay, Corsair, yeah, 2133 megahertz current DRAM frequency, and it definitely has all the RAM in there. Storage, okay, it's finding the SSD A6 terabyte. I don't see the M.3 though. That's not good. It's not showing the M.2 or M.2 drive in there. That's not good at all. We may have to there's 1, 2, so you can adjust all fan speeds. Kind of concerned because I'm not seeing the M.2. Why is the M.2 not there? I know I put it in there right. I'm pretty sure I put it in there right. Okay. We're gonna have to shut off. Okay. Shut things off. Oh man. Let's turn it back on. We're gonna shut things off. Unplug. Hold power down. I gotta figure out what's going on with the M.2. Alright. So I'm eating some chili because I'm hungry. But everything's working great at this point in time. Couple things. We go in here to storage. You can't really see it. Yeah, you can't see it at all. As you can see right there, I managed to get the M.2 to recognize whatchamacallit, the thermal compound stuff on it and the heat sink plate on it and stuff. I'm guessing it has to have like a special kind of M.2 in there because it didn't work there. It didn't work there at all. So you can tell from here. I moved it to slot 2, which is right underneath the GPU, and it picked it up just fine. So now we've got our storage in the SATA port, and then we've got our M.2, which is going to hold our OS. So pretty exciting. Everything seems to be doing okay. I've kind of been letting it just sit here and chill ever since I moved stuff around though. I do have I don't know if you can see it. It's an A6. Is that an A6? Oh, it says 64 now. It didn't say that before. Now, what is 64? That's the main. Alrighty, everybody. So I am. Ooh, that was probably way too loud into this mic, but I am super excited. We have got the computer done. It's done. Now, from the last clip, by the way, I'm sorry about the background. It's a mess, I know. From the last clip, from the last clip, I ran into some issues. I was getting frustrated. I had gotten all the way to the point where everything was reading fine in the BIOS. I thought it was posting. It was not posting. I went to go put in Windows, and it would freeze on the splash screen constantly. I was getting aggravated. Motherboard was throwing error codes. I could not figure it out. It was so frustrating. So I reached out to Diggler and Arc, and to no avail. We got it figured out. It ended up being the BIOS. Diggler brought up the whole BIOS deal. I bought this motherboard almost 2 years ago. The last update for the motherboard was back in September of 2019, I believe. And then they had an update in May of 2020. So, in general, Windows has been updated several times since I bought this motherboard, and it's been sitting around doing nothing. So,
I immediately made a BIOS flash key, got it put in there, updated the BIOS, and restarted to boot to the installation, and bam, it worked. It just, the BIOS was outdated and it had that issue. It posted, everything works great, everything's looking wonderful. As a matter of fact, this section of the video right here is being recorded through my new computer. And you may see a difference in the video. I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. So to me, it looks like there's a difference. But looking at the old footage to this footage, I don't know yet. I can't tell. You may be able to see. I'll probably see it when I start editing this out. But so a couple things. As far as the computer is concerned, it is amazing. It's got USB ports out the yin yang. I mean, literally out the yin yang. I've got 4 3.0 ports in the back, 4 2.0 ports, one which is dedicated to the BIOS, 2 3.0s in the front. My old computer literally had 4 ports in the back. I'm pretty sure they were 2.0 because that was an old computer, and the 2 ports in the front didn't even work. So I'm gonna have to fix that eventually. But I didn't have enough ports for all my peripherals and things that I have, so I was constantly having to unplug things, plug things in, go back and forth. It was a pain in the butt. So this computer is amazing. That's all I can say. And I want to thank my wife for helping me get it done at this point in time. I certainly appreciate it. Thank you, honey. This is probably, aside from my children, this is probably one of the best gifts I've got ever in my lifetime. So aside from my kids, and of course you, my wife. Let's not leave that out as well. So, but I definitely want to say thank you for this. It's amazing. It definitely is amazing. As a matter of fact, it's so amazing. I'm about to show you some clips of video gameplay that I have done since I plugged this sucker in. It is outstanding. So, watch this few clips.
village is burning. No doubt this is the work of the evil Arch-Illager and his minions. They sweep across the land like a ravenous scourge, subjugating or destroying all in their path.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed those few clips. As you can tell, Minecraft with shaders is absolutely amazing on this computer. I love it. Not only can I leave shaders on and play, but I can fly with shaders on. I couldn't even move. I was doing this number. I was literally doing that number when I turned shaders on my old computer. So that is amazing. If you saw some Minecraft dungeons on there, a huge improvement compared to the Minecraft dungeons I was posting YouTube videos on. So now, just a heads up, I do have videos on the old computer that still have to come out. So you're not going to see a change in the graphics till probably a little bit later on. But this is just a testament of what's coming as far as my video quality is concerned, and I hope y'all are as excited as I am, because it's not just about the video quality that's changing, it is about the gaming that is changing, because I will be bringing a lot more different types of games into my YouTube channel, not just Minecraft anymore. That's why we changed the banner. That's why it says Nieblue, Minecraft, and Gaming, because there will be a lot more different games. So I hope you're excited as I am. Thank you for tuning in to my PC build. It was amazing. I mean, I wasn't trying to do a how-to, so if you caught a couple pointers, that's great. By the way, there is some amazing videos out there how to put together a computer if you just don't know how. I had to get a refresher for me, so I went to Linus Tech Tips, and you can watch him build PCs from scratch all day long. But there's several out there that are amazing if you don't know how to do it, and you've got the time and the ability to spend the money. This is the way to go. Your very own custom PC, one that you chose to build. Here, let me turn this off. One that you chose to build. Now, there's not a whole lot of RGB in here. You can see my reflection. There's not a whole lot of RGB in there. Maybe eventually down the road we'll put some RGB in there. There's still cables everywhere, by the way. I'm just letting you know that now. But maybe eventually. But check out that Noctua cooler. Is that not awesome? I mean, you can see the temperature on it right now. It's sitting at 32 degrees, and I'm recording. So but it's definitely amazing. What I have currently set up is my memory is running at 3200 megahertz. It's got the MPX turned on, or XPM, or whatever it's called. Anyways, it's got it turned on, so it's running at a true 3200 megahertz. As a matter of fact, alright, so I don't know if y'all can see that very well, but I can't see it that well, so I don't know if y'all can see it that well. That's horrible, actually. Is there a way for me to fix this? Oh, no wonder I'm having issues. Let's see here. Transform, fit the screen. Transform. It should be right where it needs to be. Transform. Alright. Well, I don't know if y'all can see it, but what I'm seeing right here is 8 cores. Right now I'm barely even touching the CPU. I mean barely. And I'm recording right now. I'm using about 14% of my memory. I've got a total of 32 gigs in there. As you can see, I've got one M.2 drive. Here's my storage drive right here, and then my GPU is, I mean, it's there. It's doing good. So my memory is sitting at a speed of 3200 megahertz. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's awesome. It's awesome. But anyways, once again, I'm sorry. Thank y'all for joining me on my PC build. I just keep on rambling on and on and on and on. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up. If you love this video, please subscribe. I have a bunch more videos coming out pretty soon. They're gonna have a whole nother look to it because of my new computers. So stick around. I definitely love having you as a follower and a subscriber. I appreciate it. Everybody, this is Nieblue. I'm out of here.